For all the players out there hoping that there is going to be another Master Series product in the near future, you enjoyed the reprints, you enjoyed the cards, chances are you're not going to get your dreams coming true because this product has been burned to the ground. All Master Series products are likely to stop in the future. Now, in today's video, we are going to go through the reasons why this is unlikely to happen, why we might see a rebrand, and what players need to know about the sealed product that already exists in the market space. When you look at the history of the Master Series lineup from Wizards of the Coast, it's like a roller coaster ride. There are highs, there are lows, good products and bad, but the end result is going to be the same. The ride is going to end. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today. Before we start today's video, if you enjoy today's content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bells as we upload content every single day of the week here on the channel. Now let's get to what we're talking about. Master Series products. These cards were originally reprint products of all kinds of amazing cards that players had the chance to get in on because the prices had risen so high. When you look at the original and you see things like Tarmogoyf that used to be a $100 card, now costing pennies on the dollar, you can see where the cards have ended up. And players originally were really behind these products. I myself skipped buying the original ones. It didn't interest me at the time, but I started getting in around what the 2017 series ones. You know, we start seeing fetch lands, you start seeing some really good cards that attracted players. We saw the full arts, the force of wills. Players dove into this stuff. And as they dove in, the price started going up. Now, we had some bad ones. We had the iconic Masters, we had Masters 25, and those did not do as well. But as the prices on those started to collapse, people still bought the boxes. They still picked up the product, which gave it a kind of limp along. It's like, yeah, the product's selling horribly, we're burning through IP way too quick, but players are still buying it at the right price point, so let's put this out. And they salvaged it at the end and gave us Ultimate Masters. Remember that? Right, wait, it's up here. Ultimate Masters. When they gave us that product and they put it out there and it had box toppers and we had amazing cards inside the set, it was either you did really well or you got burned to the ground. It was still an exciting time to open the product. And I remember buying boxes and boxes at what, $460 to $480 Canadian per box. Players went just ape for that stuff. It was crazy. Now, what happened after that? After that high and the lows and the rides going along, Wizards thinned things out. They started entering remastered products like Time Spiral. They tried to broaden out the product line, which utilized and used up even more IP. And prices started crashing on a lot of these cards, and players still weren't complaining at the time. They were happy to be able to get those cards at a fraction of the old price, be able to enjoy the decks. But then what does Wizards do? They start introducing a little bit of power creep. Remember things like, they start just inching things along. And as they gave us things like Questing Beast and Oko, you started seeing those cards that used to have value not recover. They didn't bounce back. And as they burned through more IP and gave us more products, things got worse and worse. So now when Wizards of the Coast looks at the roller coaster ride and sees what they did right, what they did wrong, they do the research. The problem is they're always behind. It takes years to get that data and that collection. So now what happens? They look and say, there's some good points, but we burned through a lot of IP. It's going to take years to recover. We're going to have to introduce a little bit more power creep. We got to watch our profits, our margins. What does the economic team say? And then they will give us a new product, but not now. After we see what's coming up with Ravnica Remastered, and whatever other ones they have on the books, you're going to see them throttle back. They are going to stop the ride entirely, close it down, shut down for a retooling, because Wizards isn't done with this kind of products, but they are now going to have to rebrand it as something else. Either they will introduce a modern Master Series product or some kind of Master Series that has new cards as well as old reprints and kind of broaden things out, or they will end it for a 2 to 3 year period before introducing something else. Now, not Modern Horizons 3, because remember, that's new cards as well as some reprints. They could broaden that out and try to rebrand that as a bigger product at a higher profit margin. They could. If they do it well, they'll get away with that for a couple of years. But understanding that all these rides they take us on always end the same way. They burn through too much and they have to rebrand. It's happened time and time again. And players who enjoyed the product, players who invested in these products, we have to talk about that as well. We have to jump into that. Because these products do sell on the secondary market, just not the price tag you're seeing at your local LGS. If you go to a local LGS, you're going to see they have a lot of these products on the shelves, but they are at the regular retail price. But if you go online, you can find Masters 25, Iconic Masters, Masters 2015, 16, 17, whatever one you're looking for, and you won't pay as much. Some of them, if you're looking for a good one, you had a lot of good cards you were really excited about, and some of these cards have rebounded in price, but many haven't. Players sometimes just want to buy them to own them, to complete a whole set of all the Master Series, and enjoy the price reductions we have going in the market space right now. But don't think that that means those products are going to be able to be resold at a higher price point later. If you're buying it at the price you're buying it at, and you bargain them down, congratulations, you got it at a price that was acceptable to you and acceptable to the seller. But these are not really going to be investable products ever. I don't see it happening at this time and in this space because of what Wizards has done to the product lineup. They have done irreparable damage to the overall market space for Master Series products at this time. In the future, sure, things could turn around. Nostalgia, collectors, a big boom and bust, those things are going to come through cycles. And if you're a player or a store who's holding on to these products hoping, you've got to time it right and you may come out ahead. You may. But to think it's going to just keep going up when we know that the individual cards keep going down. There are some people who believe that because it's a sealed product, it's sealed and encased in its plastic, that it holds a certain value always. There is a bottom basement price for, I think, things like draft boxes and probably set boxes in the future. There's a floor price of around that $100 mark because that's probably the minimum you'd be willing to sell it for. But that doesn't mean that you're always going to find a buyer for that product. That's the difference. It may have a floor price that nobody's willing to go below, but that doesn't mean it's going to find a buyer, for that seller, which means it can sit on the market for years just for one box to sell. That's what the future holds for a lot of these products. And Wizards did it to themselves. They did this in their ever-increasing search for money, for cash, for the adventure of draining your wallet. They were willing to burn through things, burn through bridges that they shouldn't have crossed, that they shouldn't have even tried. But they did. And they got their end result. The ride came to an end. It's sitting there on the books. We saw a whole bunch of stores during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, trying to clear out a lot of these Master Series products just to get 1 or 2 boxes off the shelf. But they weren't willing to discount it far enough because they paid top dollar. And they're hoping, like everybody else, that maybe the odd person finds it a good deal and they can sell 1 or 2 boxes off. It helps carry it forward. They've already paid for it at this point. But they also recognize that Wizards has done what they've done. And there's no going back. They didn't manage the IP properly. They didn't manage the game pieces the way they should have been managed. And that has led to a whole other event, which is the end. The end of these products and probably a likely rebrand. Again, though, remember, you're going to be able to sell some of these things if you have them sealed. You'll be able to sell some of these products if they're sealed to the right player at the right price. As with everything, if it's cheap enough, somebody's going to buy it. But how low can you go since you've been carrying it for years at this point? Masters 25, Iconic Masters, these products are starting to get old. They've been around a while. Ultimate Masters, these have been around, guys, but the prices have not appreciated. If anything, some have gone negative. They're actually cheaper than they used to be, and they're still not selling. And you may think, what about Double Masters? What about some of these new products? They've been on sale multiple times at your local LGS. They're doing nothing. Wizards has overprinted. And that overprinting doesn't just fix itself because now we're at an okay period in Magic where things are kind of looking up. We like the look of Wilds of Eldraine. We like the look of some of the new upcoming products. That doesn't cause a trickle effect right away to go back to old products which have a heavy print run, that have a lot sitting on the books and are probably still sitting in warehouses at this point. And there's players who have hoarded some of this product at the highs of when Magic was at its most exciting for this time frame, the boom and bust we went through. So if you're a player out there who has the sealed product, hold on tight because you're not going to be able to sell it fast, and be willing to take the losses where you can if you find somebody interested. Wizards did it to themselves, and this is the way it's going to be. Players who want to buy the sealed product, they'll buy it at the right price. Players who have the single cards, some are rebounding, but we all know they're going to reprint that at some point if it gets too high. So you're going to find a little bit of resistance and reluctance to spend that money on those individual single cards unless they're building it mainly for commander decks. Remember that. Some players are willing to spend that money. So just keep your eye out, guys. But Wizards, you did this. You burned it to the ground. The ride's over. We're waiting to see what you do next. We're waiting to see how you rebrand it. And I'll be there to report on that when it happens too. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for hanging out on the channel today. I hope you had a great time like I did. I look forward to you guys later. This is a bonus Saturday video at this point, probably, if you're watching it, which means tomorrow is the Sunday top 10 edition of the reserve list. We'll see what the hottest selling cards are. And that means earlier today, you probably saw the Saturday top 10 where I showed the hottest selling cards this week. And there was a lot of interesting cards in there. So if you haven't watched that video, take time to watch it. Give it a thumbs up. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. And of course, the live stream. I'll see you guys 6:30 Eastern Standard Time live on Sunday. Have a great day, everyone. Okay, you made it to the end of the video. These are the amazing patrons, the supporters of this channel who tune in each and every day and show that support, who allow for the uploaded content daily for everyone else. Guys, thanks again to the amazing patrons. I'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back. You're here at the end, and yes, I decided it was a good time for a bonus video because I'm home. I'm at the main location here in Toronto because, you know, it was like a Christmas party for Mrs. Mox at her workplace. I had to go get mini mocks at school yesterday, so kind of threw things off, which means I had to like circumvent things, but it left me with a little bit more time than I normally would have, which means I get to do a bonus video like this and talk about stuff because I've been following those sales for a while. And when you look at what's selling on eBay, what's available, local LGS's, eBay, TCG Player, there's still a glut of a lot of this product out there from players who got burned and are holding on to the sealed boxes. Individual cards, they sell every day, but there's been such a markdown on the prices that there's just no way people are going to crack those boxes for any reason, which means they're going to sit there collecting dust in this kind of negative market space. And Wizards did it to themselves. They really did. There's no way of saving it and saying, oh, but it's going to get better. Maybe in 20 years. Just like Fallen Empires, when you burn through enough product, eventually things will turn around. If inflation hits a high enough point, some of it gets trailed upwards because of the inflation, but it's still sitting there. And as I enjoy my coffee right now, and this is Saturday at what? I guess we're at 12:45 because I finished the other video at like 3 in the morning. Got some sleep, walked the dog, and said, you know what? I'm feeling kind of motivated today. I've been following this for a while. I got some topic conversation. Let's get in there and dive in and see what's going on. Because let's face it, here at the Ramble Jamble at the end, you never know what's going to happen, and I'm going to enjoy this coffee. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you guys later on, of course. And you never know when another video is going to appear. Because when you feel motivated and you got a lot to talk about, it's going to be awesome. And yes, I'm actually working on 2 commander decks. And no, I'm not going to show you. That's not fair.